Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining me. My name is Lauren, and I'm going to guide you through a shorter, quicker practice than I normally would. So I generally, when teaching yoga, find that I end up going overtime. And I had so much planned and so much I wanted us to get through that, we went overtime. But today, this is about a shorter, quicker, more compact practice that takes less than an hour. Kind of get in, get out, get everything going, and then um, so let's get going, right? So let's start on our back. There's nothing you need, but of course, if you've got two blocks, I always like them handy. We're going to start on our back. We won't be there long, but a little something under your head's usually comfortable. But we won't be here long. Just take whatever feels good. Your legs can be extended, your knees can be bent. And just let the back side of your body settle in. Really feel your body rest on the ground beneath you, feeling that support. And as you feel that support, you can release. So take a couple breaths here, just really releasing with every exhalation, just letting it go, releasing what you don't need, whether that's physical tension, physical stress, or maybe mental, emotional stress and tension, but let it go. Take a couple breaths here, focusing on releasing, exhaling, letting it out, letting it go, sending it back into the earth. And then start to deepen your breath. Shift your focus to the inhalations and think about taking really deep, full breaths in, sending your breath down to your belly. Maybe even put your hand on your belly and you send your breath down to your low belly, past your belly button. So that as you inhale, the low belly and maybe the hand rises. And as you exhale, the low belly and maybe the hand lowers and falls towards the earth. Inhale, let the low belly rise. Exhale, let it fall. Take a couple breaths here, filling your lungs, filling your low belly with breath. Two more breaths like that. All right, and then just return back to your natural breath. Just breathe with ease. And if it feels good, maybe you take this time to set an intention for your practice. Think about a positive word or phrase and silently and slowly repeat it to allow it to settle in your heart. All right, and then start to deepen your breath again. And this time, as you take deeper, fuller breaths, add a little bit of movement. Maybe rock the head side to side, wiggle fingers and toes, move arms and legs. Take a couple moments here. Maybe take a full body stretch, or maybe hug your knees into your chest. Maybe roll wrists and ankles. Spread fingers and toes, and then crunch them in. And from wherever you're at, inhale. Exhale, hug the knees into the chest. Maybe here you rock from side to side. And then however makes sense, come on up to a seat. You can roll to the side and push up, or you can rock up through to the center. But come on up to a seat, maybe elevate your hips. And we're going to open up through the wrists before coming into tabletop. And this is a good wrist stretch or movement that I like to encourage people to take off their mat. Okay, so reach the fingertips forward. You just have to remember how to get there. Fingertips forward, palms face away from each other, thumbs down. Let the shoulders relax away from the ears. Cross the right arm on top of the left. Palms together, interlace the fingers. Let the shoulders relax. Bend at the elbows, knuckles point down, in, up, maybe forward, maybe not, but then keep threading it through, down and around, in and up. So you're going to interlace the fingers, but don't squeeze them really tight. And then similarly, arms are extended, but shoulders don't need to shrug. Let's do just one more like this. Notice the opening through the wrists, the shoulders, the wrists and the forearms, less in the shoulders. Now, next time you extend forward, pause here, release the hands. Cross the left arm on top of the right, palms together, thumbs to the floor, interlace the fingers, relax the shoulders, and do the same movement. Bend the elbows, thread them up and over and down and around. And then just move to the extent that feels good in your body, listening to your body, listening to the sensation your body is telling you or giving you. Let's do one more like this. Again, opening hands, wrists, and forearms. All right, and the next time your knuckles are extended all the way forward, back how we started, release the hands, release the arms, and just maybe roll the shoulders a couple times, maybe move the head and neck, move the shoulders the opposite way. All right, and then let's come into tabletop. So again, you don't need them, but I always like the blocks at the top two corners of the mat. We're going to do a couple cat and cows here. Maybe you need some more cushion under your knees, maybe not. But eventually, hands under the shoulders, spread the fingers, knees under the hips, and we're going to focus on the spine. So keep pushing the hands down, keeping the arms straight. We're just going to focus on the spine and torso. So inhale as you drop the belly down towards the floor. Lift your chest, lift your heart, look forward. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, ribs to the sky, chin to your chest, look at your belly button. Inhale, drop the belly. Pull the heart forward. Keep the arms straight. Don't bend at the arms. This is the spine. Exhale, round the spine. Tuck the tailbone, chin to the chest. So keep moving through, again, the spine, lengthening through the torso, moving from tail to crown, but trying to maintain stillness through the arms and the legs. So we're really isolating the spine. Let's do maybe two more of each, just a couple more. Move that spine as much as you can. Make it as big of a movement as you can. Relax the muscles of the face. Soften the jaw, the throat, the neck. And then we'll return to tabletop. All right, from tabletop, walk your hands one whole handprint closer to the top of your mat. Spread your fingers as wide as they'll go. Hook the toes under. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog, like you're folding your body in half. Now you can stay still or maybe add movement, but we're going to take a couple of breaths here. So think about really pushing your hands down, reaching your hips up towards the sky, letting the heels fall down towards the earth. Maybe the knees are bent. Maybe you bend one, straighten the other, and switch. Take two more breaths here. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. All right, and then deeply bend the knees. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, travel forward. Take baby steps. Walk your feet all the way forward. Forward fold, Uttanasana. We're going to take a couple of breaths here. So just eventually arriving in forward fold, feet hip distance, toes forward. Maybe Your knees are deeply bent. Maybe they're just slightly bent. Maybe you're letting your arms just hang. Maybe you're grabbing onto opposite elbows, and maybe you're adding movement, or maybe you're just still. But let's take about 2 or 3 more breaths here. Forward fold, Uttanasana. All right, and then if your arms are clasped, release your hands, release your arms. Shift your weight back into your heels, and with a slight bend of your knees, inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen the spine, crown of the head forward. Exhale, fold forward, rounding through the upper body. Push the heels down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Circle the arms, lift the chest. We're going to do that a couple of more times. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana, rounding through the upper body. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. Circle the arms, lift the chest, reach up towards the sky. 2 more like that. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway, Ardha, Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Push into the heels. Inhale, rise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Lifting the chest. 1 more. Exhale, fold into Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway into Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold into Uttanasana. Inhale, rise all the way up to Urdhva Hastasana. And now we're going to add on to that. So exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bend the knees, bring the hands down onto the blocks or the mat, and step the right foot back, coming into a runner's lunge. So your feet are still hip distance apart, toes are still forward. You're pushing your hands down to lift up, lengthening the spine. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, downward facing dog. Plant the hands into the mat. Feet about hip distance apart as you reach the hips to the sky. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Spread your fingers. Inhale, shift forward, plank pose, like the top part of a push-up. Now you can stay here, or you can always drop to your knees, but keep that length in the spine, the lift in the chest, spreading the fingers, pushing the hands down. Feel the work in the front side. Take a deep breath here. Stay strong, stay active. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, slowly lower. Maybe lower for the transition, but come all the way down onto your belly. Tops of the feet on the ground, hands under the shoulders. Inhale, rise up any amount that feels good. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, hook the toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. From downward facing dog, pick up the right foot, reach the right heel up and back. Inhale, exhale, draw the right knee in towards your belly and quietly place your right foot in between your hands, runner's lunge. So coming back to this runner's lunge where each foot is hip distance apart, toes forward, hands under the shoulders. You're pushing the hands down to keep the chest lifted, the spine long. Inhale. Exhale, step forward, forward fold, Uttanasana, feet hip distance at the top of the mat. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up, circle the arms, lift the chest. We're going to do that 1 more time. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bend the knees, bring the hands down, step the left foot back, runner's lunge. And again, you can drop the back knee down onto the ground or you can keep it lifted, but take a deep breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take your time, hands firmly planted onto the mat. Feet about hip distance apart towards the back of the mat. Now spread your fingers. Inhale, shift forward, plank pose, top part of a push-up. Shoulders over elbows, elbows over wrists. Push the hands down like you're trying to push the mat further into the earth and the earth away from you. Lift the chest, lengthen the spine, take a deep breath. You absolutely can stay with it. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, slowly lower. You know you can drop to your knees. Inhale, rise. Take your back bend. Exhale, lower the chest. Inhale, tuck the toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Pick up the left foot. Reach the left heel up and back. Inhale. Exhale, draw the left knee in towards your belly. Quietly place your left foot in between your hands. Runner's lunge. Feet hip distance. Toes forward. Pushing the hands down, lengthening the spine, lifting the chest. Inhale. Exhale, step forward, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up, circle the arms, lift the chest. Maybe at a back bend, let's keep going. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bend the knees, bring the hands down, step the right foot back, and this time pivot the foot. So your right toes are pointing over to the right. We're setting up in warrior two. So right toes point to the right. Right heel firmly on the ground. Push the right pinky toe and that whole outside edge of the foot into the floor. Deeply bend the left knee, hands to the top of the left thigh. Inhale as you lift your torso and eventually cartwheel the arms around. Warrior two, Virabhadrasana two. So deeply bending the left knee, bringing it forward and over to the left towards its pinky toe. And then push the right pinky toe down and back. Lift up through the chest, up with the crown of the head. Let the shoulders relax. Take another breath here. Warrior two, Virabhadrasana two. All right. With the back hand, it can come to your waist, it can come to your thigh, or you can take the half bind, but flip the front palm. Inhale as you reach forward. Exhale, sweep up and over, reverse warrior. Now keep deeply bending the right knee. I'm sorry, the left knee. I'm not mirroring you. Your left knee forward. Push that left heel down, but reach the left fingertips up and over. Left shoulder relaxes away from the left ear. Take one more breath here. Reverse warrior. Inhale, return to warrior two, arms outstretched, keep the legs as they are. Inhale, reach forward, Parsvakonasana, side angle pose. Bend the left elbow, forearm rests on the top of the thigh. Right fingertips can reach directly up, maybe at a diagonal alongside your ear. Just let that shoulder come down and back. Or maybe, again, take the half bind, back of the hand by the lower back. Just make sure that the elbow and the forearm comes in tight instead of splaying out. All right, now no matter what you're doing with that right arm, don't let the right shoulder come down. Roll your right shoulder back, away from your mat. Lift up and out of that left armpit. Take another breath here, Parsvakonasana, side angle pose. And now firmly push down into the heels. Inhale, return back to warrior two, arms outstretched. Exhale, just relax the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, cartwheel the arms, step back, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. You've got a couple breaths here. Do whatever feels good in your body. Take the time you need. Take one more breath where you're at, and we'll meet in downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, deeply bend your knees. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, travel forward. Walk, step, or jump forward. Fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, bend the knees. Bring the hands down. Step the left foot back. Step it all the way back. Pivot the foot. Ground the heel. Left toes point to the left. Left pinky toe pushing down into the floor. Deeply bend the right knee. Hands to the top of the right thigh. Inhale as you lift the chest. Exhale as you let the arms float around, soften the shoulders. Warrior two, Virabhadrasana two. Now bend the right knee forward and push it to the right. Push it towards the right pinky toe and then push the left pinky toe down into the ground, pushing down like you're lifting the chest up towards the sky, but softening shoulders. One more breath. Warrior two, Virabhadrasana two. Keep the legs as they are. Back hand can come to the waist, the thigh, or the half bind, but flip the front palm. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, Parsvakonasana. I'm sorry, reverse warrior. I'm getting ahead of myself. That is coming after this. But right now we're in reverse warrior. So you're sweeping the right fingertips up and over, feeling the opening in the right side of the body, but soften right shoulder away from right ear. But bend the right knee forward and to the right. Feel that leg working hard, the spine lengthening up. One more breath. Inhale, reach arms out in opposite directions. Exhale, Parsvakonasana. Now reach fingertips forward and then bend the right elbow. Forearm rests on the top of the thigh. Left fingertips can reach up at a diagonal or come back to that half bind, back of the hand by the lower back. But resist the urge to open up. That's just sort of overextending and overexerting in the shoulder. So keep the arm in tight. Instead of reaching the elbow back, reach the torso back. Instead of letting the left side of the torso drop to the floor, it's about drawing the left side of the torso away from the floor, not just the arm, the whole spine. So open that up, push the right forearm down into the ground, lift up and out of the right elbow or forearm, armpit. That's that joint. One more breath. Push down through the heels. Inhale, return, warrior two, arms out, stretched. Exhale, let the shoulders just relax. Inhale, exhale, cartwheel the arms, downward facing dog. Take your time. Again, moving through whatever feels good before we keep going. Take one more breath where you're at, and we'll meet in downward facing dog. And from down dog, deeply bend the knees. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, travel forward. Walk, step, or jump forward. Fold Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. Circle the arms. Lift the chest. Maybe add a back bend. Bring the hands to the heart. Take a deep breath into Dasana, mountain pose. All right. Okay, let's take a balance pose. Let's take tree pose. And if you're at home and you are favorable to another balance pose, do that. That's fine too. But I'm going to be doing tree pose. So feet hip distance, toes forward. I mean, so many of the setup cues for balance pose to balance pose is the same. So feet hip distance, weight in the heels, out of the toes. Soft bend in the knees to neutralize the pelvis, to lengthen the spine, but keep the shoulders soft. All right. Shift your weight over into your right foot. Create a kickstand with your left. And keep pushing that heel down because now your left hip isn't as supported and it's going to want to sag down. So keep it up. That right glute med has to work hard to keep that left hip up. So keep the hip up, keep the pelvis neutral, spine long, shoulders still relaxed. Do what you want with the arms. Look at something that won't move. And maybe keep the toes down. Maybe slide the foot up. But make sure the weight is in the heel, out of the toes. Push down with the heel to lift the chest. Soften the shoulders. Relax throat, neck, and jaw. One more breath. Tree pose, Vrikshasana. All right. Now close the hip. Move the left leg so both kneecaps face forward. Then slowly release the leg down. And then you can take any movement with that right ankle, maybe through the hips. Take a breath or two. And then second side. Feet hip distance, toes forward. Shift your weight into the heels, out of the toes. Soft bend in the knees. Shift your weight over to the left. Kickstand the right. And then make sure all of those things are still true. Is your weight still back in your heels? You can wiggle the toes. Is your pelvis still level like it was when you had 2 feet on the floor? So that left glute med's got to keep working to keep the right hip up. Look at something that won't move. Place your arms where you want. When you feel stable everywhere, you have the option to lift that right foot away from the floor. Maybe a little, maybe a lot. That is entirely your call, but you're going to push with that left heel. Make sure you can wiggle left toes. Push the heel down, stand up tall, keep the hips level, pelvis even. Lift the chest, soften shoulders, 2 more breaths. Vrikshasana, tree pose. And then close the hip. Move the right leg so both kneecaps face forward, then release the leg down, then take any movement that feels good. Again, just a breath or 2. All right, and then come on back to the top of your mat facing forward. Meet in mountain pose, feet hip distance. So the same setup we had for tree pose for, again, just about every balance pose. Weight in the heels, soften out of the toes, soften the knees, roll the shoulders back, pull the heart forward, soften the arms and hands, lengthen up through the crown of the head. Just take a breath here, mountain pose, Tadasana. Inhale, circle the arms out, around, fingertips reach to the sky. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana, rounding through the upper body. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale, bend the knees, bring the hands down, step 1 foot back, doesn't matter to me which one. And then the other, we're going to come into downward facing dog. Last downward facing dog of the practice. If you want to take one more vinyasa, one more plank, one more even child's pose, down dog variation, I'm going to give you 3 breaths here. All right, and then we're all going to meet in a seated position. So you can drop to your knees and then the legs come around in front of you. All right. Let's work our core a bit, shall we? So legs in front of you, knees bent, heels on the ground, hands to the backs of the thighs. Sit up tall, roll the shoulders down and back. Now maintain length through the spine, including the back of the neck. So a lot of times in this pose, we end up sort of reaching the chin up and away. So draw the chin down and back a bit, lengthen the back of the neck. Keep that all happening, lean back, 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 back. And then maybe keep the feet on the ground, maybe lift the feet away from the floor, but keep the feet together and flexed. Pull the heart forward, roll the shoulders down and back. Draw the back of the skull back, the chin down a bit towards the chest. Soften shoulders, broaden collarbones. Soften through hands, forearms, wrists. 2 more breaths here in boat pose Navasana, just as you are, lifting the chest, softening the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, let the feet come down. Bring your hands beside you. And let your knees sway from side to side a couple times. All right, and we're going to return to that one more time. So let your legs go to each side one more time. And then we're going to do boat pose one more time. So start by sitting up tall, hands to the backs of the thighs. Really lengthen the spine as if you're leaning up against a wall, which, again, would not allow for you to let the chin reach all the way up towards the chest. So like you're sitting up against a wall and you maintain the length, but now you just lean back, hinging at your hips. I always like to think almost as if there's like a yardstick along my spine. Okay, now you lean back, you feel your abs. You want to feel your abs a little bit more, pick your feet up away from the floor. You want to feel your abs a little bit more, release your hands. Either way, you're soft through the hands, the arms, the shoulders, the neck, broaden through the collarbones, feet together and flexed, Lift them up another bit. Lift and lengthen through the spine, through the chest. Relax shoulders and arms. Feel the work in your center, not in your extremities, not out, not in the neck, not in the shoulders, not in the hands, in the core. Take 2 more breaths here, just like this. Lifting, softening, breathing, and then hands to the backs of the thighs. Let the feet come down. And one more time, hands beside you. Let the knees just sway. So take a bit of a twist. Let the legs move and sway. Let your legs go to each side one more time. All right. And we're going to come down into our back. We're going to stay here for a bit. So maybe you've got something under the back of your head, maybe not. But come on down into your back. Start with your knees bent, feet flat. All right. Bring your right ankle to the top of your left thigh. Softly flex your right foot to protect your right knee. You could stay here, just like this, or you can bring both hands to the back of your left thigh, or maybe the top of your left shin, and draw your left thigh in towards your belly. Now, if your left foot comes up off the ground, flex that foot. No matter where you're at, soften your shoulders, relax your shoulders away from your ears towards your hips, and away from the sky towards the earth. Notice what you're feeling through that right leg, that right thigh, that right glute. Take 3 more breaths here. Now keep your legs in this formation. Just release your arms so that left foot can come back down to the ground. Close the gap between your thighs. Slide the right leg all the way over. So thighs are together. There's no more space between them. Push your left foot into the ground to scoot your hips a couple inches to the right. Let the legs fall to the left. Let the arms come out in opposite directions. As long as that right shoulder is really firmly planted on the ground, you have the option of turning at your neck to look over your right shoulder. But no matter which variation you take, how you set yourself up, where you're at, find comfort. Find something that feels good. Three more breaths here. And then if your head is turned, slowly return your head back to the center. Return your legs back to the center. You can uncross the legs, recenter the hips, come to neutral. Take a breath. All right, and then figure 4, bring your left ankle to the top of your right thigh. Softly flex that foot, protect that knee. Option 1, stay here. Option 2, pick up the right foot, draw the right thigh in, maybe hug onto the thigh, maybe hug onto the shin. But if you're using your arms, really soften, not just the shoulders, but again, we want the shoulders, instead of hiking up by the ears, let them come down by the hips. And instead of letting them shrug up towards the ceiling, let them come down towards the floor. And then soften through the elbows, the forearms, the wrists, the fingers. Let the upper body rest as much as it can. Let the lower body just enjoy the stretch. 3 more breaths. All right, keep your legs in this formation. Just slowly release your hands. Let the arms come out in opposite directions. Let the right foot come onto the floor. Cross the left leg all the way over, thighs together. Scoot the hips over to the right a bit. And oh, no, I had that backwards. Scoot the hips over to the left a little bit. Scoot the hips to the left. There we go. Legs fall to the right. Now you can take a different leg variation. Ideally, we have the arms out in opposite directions, letting the left shoulder drop to the floor. And if the left shoulder is comfortably on the floor, maybe turn and look over your left shoulder. Open through the neck. But just allow yourself to soften. Notice what you're feeling. Take deep breaths. Three more breaths. If your head is turned, slowly return your head back to the center. Do the same with your legs. Uncross, recenter. Come to neutral. Notice how you feel. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, hug your knees into your chest. You can wrap your arms around the backs of your thighs, the tops of your shins. Maybe you take happy baby, but be somewhere that feels good for the next couple breaths. Maybe you rock from side to side. Maybe in happy baby, you straighten one leg, bend the other, and switch. One more breath. And then make your way into Shavasana. Set yourself up using any props you need. Set yourself up to be in the most comfortable version of Shavasana you can create in this moment. And take your time doing so. You don't want to feel rushed on your yoga mat at all, but definitely when it comes to Shavasana. So take your time, join me when you're ready. And allow the back side of your body to rest. Allow your body to feel physically supported. Recognizing you are supported, not just physically, but you have support systems in your life so you can relax, so you can let go. Slowly deepen your breath. Take deeper, fuller, bigger breaths. And as you take these deep breaths, add some soft movements back into your body, like rocking your head side to side. Running your thumbs over the rest of your fingers as you wiggle your toes. Roll wrists and ankles. Move arms and legs. You can reach arms overhead, stretching as if you just woke up from a long nap. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, hug your knees into your chest. And slowly roll over onto either side in a tucked fetal position. Using the strength of both arms, push down into the ground. Come up to a comfortable seat. Take a moment here to thank yourself for making it to your mat today. And maybe reflect on your intention. Now let's join the hands together in front of the heart in Anjali Mudra. To seal our practice, let's chant the sound of Om one time. Let's start with a deep and clearing breath. Inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose for Om. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease, and may you be guided by your inner light. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for practicing with me in this quick little practice. It felt quick to me. I don't know. I like to take my time, so this felt really quick, but I often kind of get requests for that. So I hope you like the quick little practice. I hope you can practice a little bit more and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.